Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me as always.
Oh, yeah, Eric Icarus. One and only. Eric Dactyl. Wild Man of Borneo, Prince of the Rodeo.
There we go. The gentleman ghost himself,
Gentleman
kids.
Ghost.
You can follow us on Instagram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. You can follow the shop at REC Comics, where we are also selling stuff locally at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs. And you can follow the Honorable Eric.
Eric J. Wilden _ Esquire.
There it is, man. The man of a million nicknames right now.
I mean, I'm getting a little older, so maybe the Silver Savage?
Yeah, well, if you quit dyeing your hair.
I don't dye my hair.
it's
Common misconception.
Oh,
I do not yet.
Yeah,
I'm getting into my beard.
You and Jerry Lewis don't dye your hair. I get it, dude. I get it. How are you doing this week, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you, dude?
Yeah, man, good. Getting a lot of stuff done around the shop.
Yeah, I know. I walk in to do some recording, and he's like, "It's 7 o'clock."
Dude, yeah, like I was working through our record time,
Yeah,
so
it's all good.
we're actually recording a little later. I did not realize it was that
Lights
late.
are on.
Yeah, when you're having a good time, it doesn't even feel like it. So
It's fun to have fun.
It is fun is fun. Yeah, man, it's the best. It's the best. We got a couple things going on this week.
Yeah, what a week, right?
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Last week in sports, and this is not a sports podcast. There were tons of big sports moves in football.
Really?
A lot of people getting traded. It was ridiculous. And this week seemed like it was going to be pretty calm for everything. But we're gonna say let's go to Hawaii for a little bit, where Ezra Miller was arrested again. I don't know if he got arrested that first time when he had slapped that fan or
Choked
whatever.
her out.
Choked her out. That's
Yeah.
right. But in this, he was arrested in Hawaii. And Eric has some details for us on this. Ezra Miller of maybe Flash fame.
Maybe
Who knows
Flash.
now?
I mean, who knows? But apparently they've been filming this Flash movie, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They've been
This
doing
might
it.
put a damper on that. But yeah, Ezra Miller arrested in Hawaii for disorderly conduct in a karaoke bar.
Hey, man.
Apparently he was, screaming obscenities at some of the bar patrons. He actually yanked a microphone away from one of the women singing karaoke.
Dude, this guy, man.
Then he lunged at, I guess some other bar patrons telling him to chill out. And he lunged at him and they had to restrain him. Guy was just playing darts too, man.
Dude.
I don't know what's up with this guy?
I don't know. Because this guy comes out of kind of nowhere
Kinda, yeah.
and is making movies. He's kind of got that, this generation of young actor. They've got the skinny, square jaw lines, Timothy Chalamet's, and
He's
and so
almost
on.
like a modern day every man almost.
I
For
guess.
the younger kids.
Yeah, I guess. But he cannot stay out of
He
trouble in
can't.
public. And it always seems like there's some booze involved and maybe there's something else going on. But this guy cannot,
Stay out of trouble. I mean, even in Hawaii, how do you get violent there, man?
Yeah, this is why they hurt the Howleys there, because you can't keep your stuff cool on the island, man.
I mean, he's since been released. He posted his $500 bail, so I doubt he'll ever have to come back for a court case. But the court of public opinion now—that's a whole different story.
There's a lot of courts of public opinion going on.
Do you think it's going to delay the Flash movie?
No, unless they kept him. If he had to serve time or something.
Right?
Like
Oh
that.
no,
But,
I doubt it.
yeah, like you said, he's already out.
Yeah.
It's just really, really weird, and I mean, it's just another chink in the armor that is, the DC universe. What they have. I mean, because you can't. I mean, you're not having Chris Evans and Tom Holland out there.
I mean, well, you got the mouse watching over him, man.
Yeah, the mouse house.
They scare people.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a whole list of things you can't do if you're employed by Disney.
Yeah.
Like no smoking, you can drink, but at home apparently.
Yeah, man.
No, the mouse keeps it on lockdown, man.
Until they're done with you.
Yeah, until they're done with you.
Yeah.
You don't see Hemsworth out there beating up women.
No, man.
Slapping women.
He got married early up. Married a beautiful actress, and then they've got kids, and he seems to really appreciate his free time as as Thor, you know, because I mean it's a gateway. I mean it helped make Chris Hemsworth who Chris Hemsworth is.
Dude, there is no Hemsworth without Thor. I mean, we can speculate, but come on.
But are there many? I guess Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman's kind of made her, but I mean.
No, she's not out there slapping women.
It's true, and she could, she served in the Israeli military. It's just weird that this is the second instance that has come to light. Yeah, in the last year.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, you've got to be cool, man.
I don't think it delays the Flash movie, but I don't think he sticks around.
It's feeling very Shia LaBeoufy.
That's what I'm saying.
Without
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf's
he's
accolades.
a magnet. You know, he's a trouble magnet. And like you were saying, like DCEU is already kind of like trying to find its footing still, and they don't need this, man. You know, they don't need one of their top tier heroes out there beating people up.
No, man. I mean, you can't sell those toys.
You can't.
You can't sell those toys of Flash beating up on people in karaoke.
With his a woman choking action.
I know, yeah. Jeez, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I hope he can get his stuff together.
Yeah, me too.
Just
That's
for
a bummer.
himself. I don't care about the Flash movie
Yeah,
at
just
this
come
point.
on,
Just
dude.
like
Come
get
on,
your
bro.
stuff together, man. Enjoy
Be
this
a
ride.
hero, dude.
Yeah.
You could save one person. Is that the line from Justice League?
Oh yeah, just save one.
Just save one.
Yeah.
Just don't slap one.
Yeah. He's just like choking all those would-be Ukrainians.
It's like gravity.
Yeah. He's like, I'm the red. Something that we talked about off and on ever since the news of former Ellen Page, what do you call it? Just transitioning?
Transitioning, yeah.
Transitioning to Elliot Page.
Yeah, her dead name was Ellen Page.
Dead name. That's the term.
And transitioning into Elliot Page,
yep.
which great, awesome.
But
we did wonder what this would do for the Umbrella Academy.
It changes some things, and to be honest, I haven't watched season 2. My wife loves the show, and I really enjoyed season 1. I just you know how you guys know how I get about watching stuff. I still watch Batman, and Eric has watched it. Sorry, guys. But we had kind of wondered if they were going to keep Vanya, because, you can act. You're just acting.
Sure.
It's not like, Ellen Page was overly feminine or anything like that. But Eric found out that they are.
Yeah, they're going to incorporate it into season 3 of the Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
It's going from Vanya
to Viktor.
To Viktor, yeah.
To Hargraves. And hey, I'm all for it.
I think that's great. We were wondering if they were going to write it in the show, and Gerard Way being probably semi involved in the show. I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's got
very a bastion for the GLAAD community, the LGBTQ community, and we couldn't help but wonder. Yeah, they had to have wrote this in. Because he teased the picture of his new character, and the new name. So I'm excited. It looks great. He looks awesome. I'm excited, man.
Vanya was just such a pretty name.
It was, yeah.
But hey, I wonder if they're going to incorporate it into the show as a because I would hate for them to do it just to magic it away. Like,
don't do that.
If you want to use this as a platform,
I think this is great
to be gentle with it, because we don't want it to become.
Don't hit you. We don't need this to turn into the Viktor.
Yes,
show,
exactly. And this is a great platform to, get more people who are, less educated to give them something and to fold it in something that's already been fairly beloved.
Sure.
People really do enjoy the Umbrella Academy on Netflix, and
it gives people transitioning, some younger transitioning people something to look at, something to look up to. Again, we were talking about how there needs to be more diversity within the comic book genre with new characters.
Yes.
New characters.
Yeah.
And this is a good way to do that.
Yeah. Vanya doesn't have a storied past that cannot be changed. The Umbrella Academy universe, the guy has an ape body. We can do a lot of things in here, all right? Although I will say there is a part of me that would have liked to have seen Elliot play this as a female through the end of the show, but I wonder if that just creates, because you have a lot of that in Hollywood right now, non-Asian actors voicing Asian characters on shows and games and stuff like that.
They're trying to keep it consistent.
But I'm always of the mindset that if we can get somebody, Elliot's already the character. Sure. Elliot's already been Vanya, so we can keep it going.
Right. But I think what we were thinking, how they might use this as a story beat. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah,
if it furthers a good opportunity to tell a great story here.
They've changed a ton of things from the comic to the show, which at least in season 1 I thought made it far more digestible and far more interesting in a lot of ways.
It's a hard read.
It's just,
and I love Gerard Way. I love the Umbrella Academy, but that first run, oh man, I had to stop. A couple times.
Apocalypse Suite is interesting, and a lot of great ideas that, again, I think that really worked better as a show than they did as a comic.
Absolutely, for sure. No, for sure, dude.
But yeah, I'm excited. I need to get caught up. I need to talk to Mrs. REC about this, because I want to see her reaction to it since she's been watching it since the
Right.
beginning. She watched, like
Do
I
you
said,
think this was a good move, or
I'll be very curious to see
Yeah.
what she thinks.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really will. It stinks to lose a strong female character. However, we don't have very many, if any, trans characters in the superhero community outside of the Supergirl one that I apologize, I can't even remember the character's name because it wasn't somebody I was familiar with, and I did not watch the show.
fair enough.
But
At least you're not fronting.
no, yeah.
You get some of these other podcasts fronting like they know everything about everything.
I don't.
I see right
guys.
through you.
I'm not an expert, guys. I just
We're
know what I
honest
know.
here, man.
Um,
But yeah, I don't think we lose a female character. We just keep a great character.
Great way to put it. Yeah, we're not going to lose Vanya. We're going to that's a good lesson to learn too about people in real life who do transition.
Yeah.
It's like you're not losing a son or a daughter.
Yeah, you're keeping your kid.
Yeah,
Or your mom, or you're keeping this person.
Yes,
is what matters.
Yeah, that's interesting. You've got me more excited about it, to be honest. Not that I was against it, but you've got me more excited about it. It's going to be a refreshing way to look at this character.
Yeah, so let's transpose to the next one.
Yeah. It's pop culture, kids.
we gotta talk
Oscar
about it.
season, which crept up on me without my knowledge, guys.
Me too.
I've been out of the movie business for almost a year now, doing the comic book thing. So my movie stuff has gone down.
Where's this place at?
Considerably, because I've been spending my time at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs. RAC Comics and Collectibles, kids. So the Oscars happened, and dude, I didn't know any of these movies. And in the past, we knew the movies. We just didn't watch all of them.
Right. I didn't see a single one.
Yeah, I mean,
best picture was something called Coda.
Coda.
Didn't even know it existed.
Jessica Chastain won Best Actress for The Eyes of Tammy Faye,
which is a biopic for Tammy Faye Baker, Avi Totes. But like, weird that the two actor-actress categories were for biopics.
Yeah, I mean, I think The Last Dance really made documentaries and biopic type things. It's putting it more in the front light. Sure. And then we had Will Smith win Best Actor for King Richard, and then I don't think anything else really happened.
No, I think it was a pretty boring.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet evening.
Awesome, pretty quiet. We had the three female hosts.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Will Smith thought it was cool to go up and smack a comedian for telling a terrible joke.
Not in bad taste. It was just a crap joke.
Yeah, it's a crap joke.
It just was a bad joke.
The world already knows, so we won't spend too much time on it. But Will Smith went up and assaulted Chris Rock.
It was Chris Rock was presenting an award for, I don't even remember.
It was best documentary, and it sucks. And that's the thing. That's what sucks. It was a documentary that Summer of Soul, and it was a documentary that Questlove got all this like crazy footage from like Harlem and all this stuff.
Wow,
dude, and it's completely outshined. Questlove's documentary
Will Smith
won.
Yeah, see again, usurping other people's moments. I mean, the joke was, because it's not even that bad. Will Smith's wife.
Yeah.
It's hard. Smith.
I understand you'd be confused by that.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But, he said, Chris Rock quote said, can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2. She suffers from alopecia. Which renders her bald.
Yeah.
And the joke is that Demi Moore was bald in that movie. Dumb joke. It's stupid.
And it's such a flat joke because there's a ton of people don't know. Like, I had to explain the G.I. Jane joke to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's not okay to ever physically assault a comedian.
Especially if you're in the public eye.
Especially if you're in the public eye.
You are ripe for ridicule. You put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And real quick, you notice Will Smith laughing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He was laughing initially, then he looked over and saw her, and he didn't appreciate it.
It was like from 300 when like his wife is like, and he kicks him in it, But hats off to Chris Rock for shaking it off pretty well. He was obviously a little shook.
Yeah,
but he
sell it.
Took the slap like a champ.
He's a pro.
He is a pro. And it's never okay to put hands on another person. Believe it or not, kids, I'm the hothead of the group of our friends. And
I'm calm.
And if my wife gets insulted, she's got to give me the look not to hurt you.
Right. I just escalate this.
Yeah. Eric just pokes and pushes. But honestly, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay,
Like
here we go.
I can kind of get it to an extent. In essence of trying to defend your family, but the thing is that this was not for Jada. This was this was Will trying to, because the world knows
he's been cucked
about his entanglement
with Jada's love life.
Yeah, and
indiscretions.
And this was more about him than
Asserting
it was about
his
her.
dominance, you think?
Yeah. And it's like, if that was
It
The
made
Rock,
him look more like a simp, honestly.
if that was The Rock, do you have the same energy? You know what I mean? Like, if The Rock says something about it, like, I don't think you do, Will. And it sucks because this really hurts Will Smith's image. And
well, you brought up an interesting point earlier. It sets a weird precedent.
Yeah.
For comedians. My man was saying, now it kind of seems like, oh, you go to a comedy club and a comedian can be doing their thing, and then you can go up and get slapped.
Yeah.
Because Will Smith did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just does raise the point of where are the lines.
Yeah.
Are there? I don't think there should be lines. You don't ever physically assault somebody for saying something to you.
Yeah.
You can either say something back or just ignore them.
Yeah.
You're feeding the fire. You let Chris Rock won.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chris Rock looks like a freaking stud as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But you could, in that situation, you think you might have?
Dude, I'm so stupid. Like, in the heat of the moment, like, I can get real stupid. But the thing is that Will didn't seem like it was a heated thing until he looked over at Jada.
Yeah, and then I thought it was a work until he sat back down and said, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth."
Yeah, which that is funny. A lot of people think that maybe this was planned because the Oscars
been tanking,
dude, for years.
The Golden Globes have been beating it because
nobody cares about the average man doesn't care about it. We love movies, and I don't know any of these movies. I didn't know who was up for anything. Nobody in my friend circle was talking about this.
Coda didn't know about that nonsense. I didn't see any of these movies.
No.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel. Do you think that do you think there's a reason?
Do we need the Oscars anymore?
That's what I'm trying. Yeah. I don't think so.
There just used to be something about it, and I'd like to talk to some people who are diehard about it, because I never was.
I never was either.
Friend of the show, Jeff. He used to be a big Oscars guy. I haven't talked to him about this one, just because I think everybody's sick of the Will memes, because the internet went nuts. Oh, and if you didn't like bad jokes about your wife, like new comedians, they are lighting you guys up online.
Big time. Yeah.
I sent you a couple of those from Schultz and everything. Whoo, you have no idea what you've done, Big Willie. Big Willie style is not for everybody.
What was that dumb joke I said? He should have said "Welcome to Earth."
He should have said "Welcome to Earth"
when he slapped him.
Yeah.
Or paper covers rock.
Paper covers. Oh, that would have been great. I'd have done that. Yeah, I could have laughed at that. Yeah. Or if Rock was like, "Oh, Will Smith just entangled my face," if you would have said that on the live cast,
I've been okay with that,
dude.
But I don't know. Do you think it was a work though?
I don't, just because if it was, it would have come out by now, and it did nothing for anybody but Chris Rock.
Yeah, and he didn't press charges, by the way.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But there are some people who think that he should. And
you think he should have been escorted out? I think he should.
Yeah.
As much as they preach nonviolence at these shows, that is assault, bar none, and a perfect example of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
This term that's been very popular in the last few years, which, just asserting yourself in someone's space and being physical.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that was straight
Somebody
up.
puts hands on you, definitely, whatever. Like, if Rock would have went back at him, that would have been the
greatest night in television.
That would have been TV history. But it's too bad. It's I think it puts definitely a halt on Will's career.
He's gonna be dumb for a minute.
Yeah, I think he just needs to be, man.
He needs
I think
to
there's
chill
something
out. He needs to just get away from Jada.
I think there's something toxic about just their relationship.
Thing.
Just everything about it seems so
we never heard anything about them.
No, I mean, I remember people talking about how like they loved them as a Hollywood couple, that you never heard about their stuff, and now because, as Ari Shafir puts it, that I don't know if this was Ari, but he stood up for his wife's failed career. It's like, she's doing this red table talk or something on Facebook that's very popular, but it's so popular because it's juicy. Because she's like,
it's just the coattails of her failed marriage, essentially.
Yeah, it's
just
really strange,
weird indiscretions. I mean, she broke the news to Will on that show, and you could see this man just crumbling on the inside. And
Will isn't looking like the guy we thought he could be.
Right. And we all thought After Earth was the worst thing he could do.
We all thought Jaden was the worst thing he could do, but yeah, it's weird. It definitely rocked everybody. I mean, everybody was talking about it. I mean, and we'll be talking about it for a while, I think.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, the meme generators.
Oh, it's gonna, we got a good 6 months of this.
Yeah, I mean, we still doing the hats off to Michael Jordan when he was doing his eulogy at Kobe's funeral, and he was crying. He's like, man, he's like, I got to deal with more of these crying memes. You know, he was able to at least poke.
Oh yeah, him
poke
and
a little bit
Shaq
of
had a
fun.
good eulogy. They were both really good there, man. And,
they're excellent you Googleizers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I just think it's funny Will Smith won for King Richard because he was a king dick that night.
He was, man. It's too bad, you know. And I mean, I guess it's decent ratings for them, but at what cost?
Right.
At what cost?
Right. So that was our Oscar wrap up.
Yeah.
That was our Oscarbation.
Yeah, Oscarbation, as it's known in the streets. We are coming up, this year is actually the 25th anniversary of a favorite of ours, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
This was a show that Erik and I got into after the fact, and that I had to kind of beg Erik to get in with me.
The weird story is that his old roommate was into it, and you know,
she got us into it.
Yeah. Well, you started watching it with her, and then you're like, dude, you're gonna love it. And I remember watching the first season, being like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it was like, it was really hokey, but it was like, this
had
is some
some
cool
potential
lore.
there.
Yeah.
And then second season and third season where it just goes.
Oh
it just
my gosh.
goes and goes.
So good.
Not a bad season.
No.
3, whatever with the robot soldier. Was that 3?
I think
or
it was
2?
4.
Was that 4?
Yeah.
Okay, that's when it was like, okay, it was fine.
With Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a juggernaut.
I mean, it was a fantastic show, ahead of its time, spawned a plethora of fantastic writers, you know, put Joss Whedon on the map.
Yep. It was a movie first.
It was a movie that was poorly adapted. He had sold the script. Luke Perry. I can't remember the lead's name. Rutger Hauer is like the like Dracula-esque character.
That's right.
And Pee-wee.
Paul Rubens
is in it. Paul Rubens is in it too. But yeah, it was just kind of this very hacky vampire story about a girl in high school who has to become the Slayer, blah, 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 blah.
Such a cool story for which I think the director was kind of like, oh, let's make this like a B
goofy
movie.
Yeah, they just made it goofy. And if you've never watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer and you like vampires and you like really interesting monster lore, you know, they come up with a lot of this stuff themselves. They embellish a lot. And it is a fantastic property and a character that into each generation a Slayer is born. It is a woman that is basically had been imbued with the strength and like healing powers, speed of a demon, to like protect people. And it's like when one dies, another one is called. It's a very, very, very fascinating process. Sarah Michelle Gellar,
killing it.
You know, is she a fantastic actress?
She's fine in that role.
She's great in the role.
The more the seasons went on, the better she got.
But she is Buffy Summers, you know?
Yeah, I think that might have kind of stopped her career a little.
It did.
Because everyone just saw her as Buffy, you know?
But, oh my gosh, I mean, they did great things there. And unfortunately, Joss Whedon's had a massive fall from grace. But I think that it was something that...
it was ahead of its time. A lot of people don't understand. A female-led like supernatural show wasn't heard of
and wasn't overly sexualized.
No,
Xena the Warrior Princess, while a fantastic show was overly sexualized again,
which I think was kind of the point.
Yeah,
you know, but this one was you weren't even her being a woman at some points was like, oh no, she's just the Slayer.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was interesting. Joss, whatever you got to say about it, he always wrote females dynamically.
Yes. Yeah,
I will say that about him.
He always said his mother raised him as a feminist, which he would then later use as a shield to do his dirt. Yeah. But you know, he did always write. You know, he made us really attracted to Allison Hannigan, the most. You know, and I mean this, and I don't mean this. It sounds terrible, and I don't mean it. But she is not a person that I would have initially thought was somebody that I would be attracted to. But her personality, and even though she's, you know, I like him a little curvy, she has no curves. You fell in love with a lot of these female characters on here because of who they were in the show.
You know, they were doing the lesbian relationship between her and Willow.
Willow and then Tara.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Allison Hannigan was Willow.
That's right. And then Tara was the love interest.
Yes. Yeah. In like season 4, she gets introduced.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, they start playing with it more, and it was way ahead of its time.
It really was.
Way ahead of its time.
You got to remember, this was
late
not
90s,
when it was
early
okay.
2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gave us Seth Green.
Seth Green, yep.
Yeah, as a werewolf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Oz.
Yeah. That's right.
David Boreanaz as Angel.
Yeah,
You know, we'll be coming up here in a few years on some Angel anniversary stuff, and 7 seasons. I'd say. There's definitely a couple weak seasons, but every season has fantastic episodes. The musical episode is one I always go back to.
That's my boy's one of his, I would say, favorite episodes of anything.
Of anything, yeah. It's called Once More with Feeling. It's hokey in the best way possible. They make the musical make sense. The episode Hush, where there's only like 7 minutes of dialogue in this 43-minute episode or something like that, because they said that Joss was only good at dialogue. So
he's like, I'll show you what's up.
Yeah, oh, and it's great.
My favorite
dark
scene, and spoilers, 3, 2, 1, is when Buffy's mother dies. And there's There's a scene when she's looking at is that what it's called?
Yeah, the episode's called The Body.
Yeah, and she goes into the morgue to see her mom, and then a vampire is in the morgue. And you actually see Buffy struggling with this vampire to fight it.
Not that. It's the sister.
Is it the sister?
So, yeah, it's
and there's
the sister.
No music.
Yeah, there's no music. Oh, dude, yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's like you can see this just struggle almost.
And that's why it's so good that it's Dawn, because she's so young, doesn't know what she's going to do without her mom.
Right.
And then she kills a vampire by herself.
Yeah, okay. That's what
that's the moment. I've actually seen the show probably 3 or 4 times all the way through.
For sure.
I used to watch it because I never had cable, so when I had the DVDs, kids.
Yeah, back in the day when those were a big deal.
I used to watch Buffy and Friends all the time.
I was on the loop. But it also gave us my main man, James. Help me out here. Spike.
Oh, Spike. Yeah, James Marsters.
Yes.
Yeah. Marsden. Marsters, yeah. Spike.
Spike's got to be one of my favorite characters.
I mean, some of the best characters. Even though Charisma Carpenter isn't the strongest actress, you really like her Cordelia Chase character. She also really progresses as the show gets on.
Oh yeah.
In her final episode of Angel, I mean, I'm bawling. She's so good.
But which one had the better last episode?
Angel. Ooh. Angel. Even though Buffy's wrapped up better.
How did it end?
Buffy, spoilers, they close the Hellmouth.
Okay.
Yeah, they end up like Sunnydale gets swallowed up by the Hellmouth and they close it up. Yeah. And
awesome.
And then in Angel, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, they thought they were coming back.
Well, they were hoping to get the TV movie.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay, okay.
And then it ended on a cliffhanger with our heroes, some dying, the rest of them beat to shreds, and
it's like Angel wanting and Spike are standing, basically.
Yeah, it's Angel, Spike.
Gun's there, but he's
dying.
Up,
he's bleeding out. And Illyria is there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It's dark. It's sad, and it's just fantastic.
When you want to talk about one of the best mentor figures, we got to talk about Giles.
Oh, Giles.
Anthony Stewart Head as Giles. I mean, probably
the Ripper.
Yeah, like the best mentor figure.
They took this character that seemed like he was going to be a goofy father figure.
You're right.
And they
turned him into this badass.
They gave him depth, and they gave him a great backstory that I could still stand to know.
What was the Ripper thing?
So because when Giles was a young man, him and his friends were just like dabbling in black magic.
That's right.
And he was like a wild dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they would allow a demon to possess them to get high.
That's right.
Yeah, and then they would like split the demon between them so that it couldn't fully overtake them, which is just great, storytelling. And you had this character, and they set it up really well to where they in season 1 or 2, must have been 2, they had a Halloween episode where like this candy, if you ate it, or the costumes that you wore, they made you that person.
Yep.
So he dresses like a 60s greaser, so it makes him like a punk teenager.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's like kind of a badass.
Yeah, he is.
And it's like, oh, that's funny. Like, why would he act like that? And then you find out, like, oh, he was that.
He was that guy. Yeah. There were just so many. I mean, Xander, actually, not a bad second banana.
Not a bad second banana. Is a little annoying.
You grow into him.
Yeah.
He grows up through the show, and you're like, wow, this guy's he's a ride or die for Buffy.
Oh yeah. In a role that we can all be a part of, where we all were friends with the prettiest girl or one of the prettiest girls or popular girls in school, and either you got them or you didn't, or they hated you. And at least with Xander, he got friend zoned, but
he was okay with it at the end.
Yeah,
I think I don't know.
He lost the woman of his dreams and lost his eye.
That's right.
But they saved the world.
I mean, they did bring it back in comic book form, right?
They did, and it was excellent. It was really, really strong. They got a little weird.
Did Joss write it?
Joss, they gave him exec EP credits on this, so he was like
overseeing.
Okay. He wrote some of them, but and then they had.
I'm sure
a bunch
he was working on Astounding X-Men at the time.
It was pre-astonishing. Yeah, it was pre-astonishing.
Okay.
But you had a lot of the show writers come back and do some arcs.
Okay.
They did some great stuff with Dracula. They did some really, really hands down just good Buffy storytelling.
I mean, I thought it was crazy how Dracula wasn't a big bad. He was in a episode.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a season bad.
Yeah, he wasn't a season bad guy.
But they did some cool stuff with him there, even though it was Antonio Sabato Jr., who's not a strong actor in my opinion, but handsome as I'll get out. But they added some stuff to where it's like they said, oh, well, Dracula can mist and shapeshift because he's learned magic. Right. Because he was he comes from gypsies.
Yes.
So, like they added more lore to the character because you see Buffy, spoilers.
Yeah.
You see her stake him, and then as she's leaving, the dust is coming back together. Like
he just can't die.
He can't because he knows the magic. Yeah. And they did a great storyline in the comic book where they do a storyline where these like Asian vampires show up looking for Buffy's scythe because it holds like power to Slayers. And they're misting and they're turning into animals. And I'm going to say something mildly racist, but it was in the book, and I'm part Asian, so I'm going to give myself this. So they're like, whoa, like we only know Dracula to be able to do these things, so we got to go talk to Dracula. So they go talk to him, and they're like, hey, we saw some vampires doing some things that only you can do. And he's like, nobody can do what I can do. I'm Dracula. And he goes, wait, were they Orientals? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, yellow swine.
Okay.
But again, it makes sense because he's an older character.
That's how he would talk.
He refers to them as Orientals, which, things are Oriental, not people. And
like ramen.
Like ramen, yeah. It's Oriental flavored sometimes in the blue package. And obviously calls them yellow swine, which is very, very not so good.
Dracula, you're racist. I used to think you were cool.
Yeah, man. You're out now, Drax. Yes. Yeah, they're gonna cancel you.
Dracula's cancel culture.
Dude, it'd be hilarious.
It wasn't a steak.
Yeah.
With the sunlight.
Yeah. It was a cancel culture. Yeah. But yeah, like they write the character very. God. He's got layers. He's interesting.
We got to talk real quick about Faith.
We have to talk about Faith. Dude, go, please.
I just think, I don't know how, again, I'm more rusty on this. How did she come into being? Because she's a Slayer as well.
She's a Slayer as well. So we live in a world where there are a few Slayers. And then because at the end of season 1, the big bad of season 1 is what they call the Master. And he's just one of the oldest vampires alive, but he's trapped in Sunnydale. And if he can kill the Slayer, then he can break his bondage. And he does. He kills her. He drinks her blood and leaves her for dead. But Xander finds her body, resuscitates her, and she comes back. But in the moment that she's dead, another Slayer is called. Yeah. And her name is Kendra the Vampire Slayer from Africa. And so she has her own Watcher. Yep. And now the Watchers Council, who kind of watch over the Slayers, they have this great thing of like, oh, we've only ever had one Slayer. Yeah. Well, now we have 2. So they're able to do some things together. They go through and unfortunately, spoilers, Kendra does die. Yeah. So the new line of the Slayer has deviated from Buffy, which they didn't know could happen. She still has all of her juice, but now there is another Slayer in the world. So when Kendra gets killed, then Faith is called. Right. And Faith's Watcher gets brutally murdered by a higher-ranking vampire, and she is just wild. She came from an abusive house. Yeah, she
has no mentor to rein her in.
She has no mentor. Buffy seems like the, teacher's pet type of character. Right. So we get this villain of a Slayer that is like, no, I'm doing things the way I want, which created a very interesting big bad where we have Slayer versus Slayer.
Yeah, and it's cool.
And it's dark. It's very dark.
The show, as it progressed, got darker. Mm-hmm. Just so much darker, more adult. Mm-hmm. It's funny if you were to watch first season to the last season, you get this is two different shows.
What I told
tone.
Eric when I was gotten to season 2, I was like, bro, in the middle of season 2, it loses its innocence.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
And it doesn't stop.
It doesn't, man. A lot of terrible things happen.
Oh, God. That's where you get Josh just yanking stuff from you.
Nothing is sacred. He has he has no chill.
Nothing's sacred.
If you're happy, you're not going to be happy for long.
No.
But it's not for the sake of it. It does push the story.
It does, and that's what's brilliant.
Yes. And I love the show.
Right.
One of the reasons we bring it up, though, is because, like we said, it is a 25th anniversary. So we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer 25th anniversary comic in shop, comes out. It's on sale tomorrow. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so Wednesday is new comic book day for everything but DC. And then it's going to kick off a new vampire. I believe it's going to be called the Vampire Slayer storyline.
Okay.
Yeah, so continued in the Vampire Slayer #1.
Hey.
We have had a Buffy and Angel story arc going on for a while in comics.
Yeah, that's right,
They've been hot and cold, so we'll see where this one takes us.
Right.
But we have excellent Jenny Friesen art here and some other variants, but it's a double-sized issue.
Nice.
It is a $10 book, but if you're a Buffy fan like myself,
come on.
this is something you're going to want to read and check out, and I'm very excited to thumb through this.
Hell yeah.
All right, kids, that's our show.
Yes.
If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the alarm as well so you can be notified when when we're putting up new shows. Leave us a comment below. Are you a big Buffy fan? Are you excited about the comic? Swing by the shop, 7679 North Union Boulevard, Colorado Springs, to pick up your copy of Buffy, the 25th anniversary today. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
Will Smith, I don't know. I want to root for you.
Yeah, I don't think that. Hey man, we've all done really.
We got to stop this black
things.
on black crime.
Exactly. You can't do that on TV, man. You guys are unicorns, okay? Just beautiful black men who are funny and box office draws. You need to keep your stuff cool, all right?
Yes.
Kids,
I'm good.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I am still Eric Icarus. R.A.P. Taylor Hawkins.
R.I.P. Taylor Hawkins. Oh, we were going to pour one out for Taylor Hawkins, man. We're going to have one for you, brother. All right. We'll catch you on the next podcast. Thank you.